the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah, so Notre Dame, right? Like Notre Dame is disappointing. There's no doubt about it. And I looked at Notre Dame for a long time. Now they started the year in fifth, even in the preseason. I thought that they played pretty well against Ohio State, in particular with a brand new head coach, in particular breaking in a new quarterback. Now they've lost that quarterback. They're on to their backup. Not everything has gone right for them. They lose the second game. But if you haven't been paying attention, they are getting a little bit better. And I think that Marcus Freeman is actually doing a decent job. Now they're 4-3, and you could be saying to yourself like, yeah, but they haven't dominated. And you're right. They haven't been dominant at all, but they are getting better. They start 0-2, and in their last 5 games, they're 4-1. Granted, the Stanford loss was not good, and I'm not going to be an apologist for Notre Dame on that game. It's not a good look, that loss, because Stanford is not very good. But 4-1 in their last 5, and then these elements that I say Notre Dame needs in order to be a really good team have gotten better. They have developed a little bit during the course of the year, even with a backup quarterback. One of those is the ability to run the football. Okay, so in the first 2 weeks, Marshall and Ohio State really stymied their ability to run the ball. And I thought it was something that coming into the year, they were going to be able to lean on. Their offensive line was developing last year. I think that they're better this year, although I still think that they need further development. Obviously, they're 4-3. But if you actually look and you kind of dig in, it's like, how are they running the ball? What you'll see is in each of the first 2 games, they did not average 4 yards per carry in either one of those games. Since then, they have in almost every one of these. They have run for over 150 yards in every single game since the first 2. They did not touch 150 in the first 2. And in fact, in 3 of the 4, they've run it for over 220 yards. So they're getting better running the football. So here you have a team with a brand new first-year head coach in Marcus Freeman, and you lose your starting quarterback. It doesn't go well from you, but they continue to get better. And I actually think when I look at the rest of their schedule, they're 4-3 right now. This easily is a bowl team. They've got to go 2-3 in the rest of their games in order to go to a bowl game. And I think that that's a win, in particular after how the season started. They're going to go to Syracuse, tough game. Clemson at home, Navy, Boston College, and then at USC. They've got to win 2 of those games. You clearly look at Navy and BC and you think to yourself, yeah, Notre Dame can and probably should win both of those games. And I actually think, I'll just put it out there right now, I believe that they win one of the other 3. I think that they beat either Syracuse, Clemson, or USC. It's going to be tough against Clemson and USC because they're losing the talent battle on that one. I do think that they're going to play well at Syracuse. Syracuse is coming off of that really emotional loss on the road against Clemson, and I think that that's a tough game for Syracuse because of the development for Notre Dame. So here's a team that starts in the top 5. There's a lot of pressure on Marcus Freeman. They've got a brand new starting quarterback. He goes down, Tyler Buckner. They've got to go to Drew Pine. Things have not gone their way, and here they are developing, getting better, and trying to control the controllables. If they're able to run the ball like they have in the last 3 of the last 4 games, then they will win 2 of these and maybe 3 and end up going to a bowl game. So let's say that they win 3 and they finish the year, and there they are, a 7-win team. Okay, so they're 7-5. They go to some, nondescript bowl and they get a win, and they're 8 wins. Don't you feel a lot different about Notre Dame if they're an 8-win bowl win team versus where they sit right now in 4-3? See, but that's the trajectory that they're on because they're improving. And I think Marcus Freeman's actually doing a nice job. Last thing on Notre Dame, and one of the reasons why I'm not all that worried about where they're at right now, they're recruiting really well. Really well. So their trajectory in the season is going up. And also in the offseason and for the program is going up. I believe they're 3rd in the country right now, and it changes all the time based on commitments. But for next year's recruiting class, I believe they're 3rd, ahead of a team like Ohio State. So they're recruiting at an elite level right there with Alabama and Georgia, and you never know. Maybe they're going to close a couple of these guys late and end up getting them at Notre Dame. So Notre Dame, 4-3, been very disappointing. Started the year 0-2, but the year is starting to trend up. The offseason is starting to trend up, and that's why I'm not quite as worried about Notre Dame as maybe some others that I'll talk about in a moment. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here.
From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here. College football on Fox.